yeah, we're going to open this together. Hopefully this video doesn't turn into an object lesson in how to make poor life choices.
Poor life choices.
Hey YouTube, Mike the Alpha Hoarder here. 2 videos in less than 2 months. Not bad, right? I got a quick video today. I just wanted to share a milestone in my collecting journey. Something I actually don't get to do that much because I completed my set before I started the channel. But nonetheless, there's a few little milestones that lay ahead of me, but this one's a good one, so I figured I would share it. So one of my earliest videos was showcasing this special binder right here. This is my complete alpha set. I'll link to that video in the description. If you haven't checked it out, you can do that. I've spent years assembling these cards, upgrading them to nicer copies, and just working to create this incredible snapshot of history. And with the exception of the Alpha Lotus, which I only have graded, and I only have one, everything else I have raw, and well, they used to be in here. They're actually not. I'm retiring this binder. Unfortunately, I didn't like the way it was sitting. It got to a point where I had to store it open. I was worried about the binding, and I don't know, you can't tell now that I've emptied it out, but anyway, there's some curvature on that top. So I was storing it open for a while. But I don't know if you can see how loose these became as opposed to inner pages that had some weight on them. And also these cards were always sitting out in the light. So I fabricated this thing, which I would just sit on top of them, but it was just making me uncomfortable. So I'm trying something new. My actual full set happens to be right here because I'm in the process of moving it. But here, check this out. How pretentious is this? Right? Not bad though, huh? But you know, whatever. I'm trying it. I needed a binder and I can't just do any old binder. So what I've started doing with my rares, all of my duplicate rares, is I've been getting those. Here, I'll grab one. I've been getting these gigantic binders that hold top loaders sleeved, and I kind of like that. It feels like it's a little bit safer. So, you know, the card's obviously sleeved in a top loader, and then that sits in the binder. So now I don't really have to worry so much about pressures on the binder, which is something that's troubled me. So anyway, I found these pages, which are designed to hold top loaders. So we'll see. I'm doing some experimenting. But I'm going to move the collection out of these white sleeves into just regular sleeves. I'm going to encase them, and I'm going to try them out in the new binder. So we'll see. That's not the point of the video. That's just a rant. But anyway, so this here is the complete alpha set, except it's not really complete in spirit. And that's because it doesn't contain the intended print run. So what do I mean by that? Well, there were a number of mistakes riddled through the first printing of Magic. I've got a video documenting that too, which you should check out. But aside from errors and typos and things like that, there were 2 errors of omission. Cards that were designed, intended, tested, but they weren't actually sent to the printers at Cardamundi. The first one is Circle of Protection Black. So let's see. There are only these 4 in alpha, and this was simply left out. So this is of course a beta copy. And the reason the art is unique is because this is digital art. It's the first Magic card ever to have digital art, and it was because it was missing. They needed something to fill it in, as I understand it. So that was thrown together rather quickly just to get it in there. So this is missing. And then the second card that was missing is one of the dual lands. So that'll be the bottom of this pile. So of course, we have every combination of 2 colors out of 5, so we should have 10. Except in Alpha, there's only 9. And the missing one was filled in Beta, and that is what I have right here. Volcanic Island. This is quite a nice one. This is the first and only copy of Volcanic Island that I have, and I am really pumped about it. So today I am finishing the intended print run, and I am going to be flushing money down the toilet while I do it. You all get to watch, because we are going to crack that case. Let me just get potential casualties out of the way here. Minimize the damage we're about to do. All right, so best case, cracking this open, I'm probably looking at a 10 to 15% loss. There's a nice markup on a card like this. This is a 9 quad plus. So all of the subs are equal to or better than the overall grade, centering being 9.5. And yeah, actually that's maybe a hair overgraded, but no, it's beautiful, beautiful card. Worst case is I mess up the card while opening it and turn this beauty into damaged, in which case I'm taking a 75% bath at least. Why risk it? Well, let's be honest, if you haven't realized there's something wrong with me, you haven't been paying attention to the channel. But the rationalizations I use are that I just prefer raw. I prefer it for many reasons. It's what I like to collect, and you really need to favor what you care about over what's collectible. I've been after this card for many, many years, and I just haven't found one at the right price that's rare and that's clean. Not that many come up. And so, you know, it wasn't my first choice to go for a graded, but this came around. The price was right. You know, all prices are down right now, so I jumped for it. Second thing, I just don't enjoy looking at slabs. I mean, you can see even as I'm trying to catch this on the camera, but the glare, reflections, you know, it's just hard for me to enjoy cards that are in slabs. And I don't have a good way to look at them. You know, raw cards you can put in a binder, you can take out and fan through and enjoy. But slabs, I just haven't found a good way. They usually just end up buried in a vault and I never look at them. So yeah, we're gonna open this together, and hopefully this video doesn't turn into an object lesson in how to make poor life choices. Just to catch its condition a bit before I do that. It's a shame. Quad 9 is normally not a slab I'd be willing to break. If this were an alpha card, I would probably keep this and just keep going until I could get a raw copy. But you know, beta's not my thing. Probably not going to get another copy of this. So it's got to go in the binder. All right, folks. Here goes nothing. I like to try to preserve the label, so we're going to be cutting in around the B. I usually cut in somewhere up here. And let's see what happens. All right. So this is an okay split. If you've opened slabs before, you know it can go a couple different ways. The worst way, and what tends to happen with a lot more PSA slabs is when you clip it, it just sort of snaps straight across, and you don't have anywhere to go in except at the card with your screwdriver. This isn't terrible. It's much better when it's more of an opening. If you can pull the label out after the first clip, then you did a good job. This time I can't, but now we've got to go to the screwdriver. That's actually the more dangerous part. This feels a little bit more violent, but this is actually less likely to damage the card. Okay. You want to do most of the cracking by leveraging it through twisting the screwdriver. You really don't want to be doing anything that requires you to push it. Once it slips, it'll be through the card in no time. All right. There we go. Rest in peace. Once the label's out, you got a nice runway where you can shoot in and leverage the case. All right, looks good. Tool for this. And there we go. Look how much more beautiful it is raw. You got to admit, right? Wow, look at that surface. Centering is great. Ooh. Doesn't compare. All right, so that will go in the binder. And now I can officially say that I have the complete intended print run. That is all I've got for today. Thanks again for tuning in. Catch you next time.